what are you doing to kind of train or guide your subconscious, like daily practices, things that you do?
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to my dad. He introduced me to subconscious mind at childhood. So there's a lot of things I do subconsciously to keep my subconscious healthy, right? So anytime something enters your five senses, we have to frame it. We can look at a piece of information and internalize it, or we can frame it. So I talk about this like with my kids, right? Like people say, well, how do you deal with the politics and stuff, and the crazy things that are happening in society with your kids? Do you talk to them about it? And the answer is yes. I talk to them about a lot that some people might not talk to their kids about. And the reason why is because I want to be the first to the subconscious mind, and I want to frame it in their mind. So when they see it again, it already has a frame around it. They know how to look at it. A lot of people will see something on a line and allow it to trigger an emotion. That means it's bypassed your conscious mind. It just completely disrespected your conscious mind. Your conscious mind has to act as a bouncer for everything that your eyes see and everything your ears hear. You have to act as a bouncer and say, this is someone else's thought. I can consider it, but it doesn't have to affect me. So we can't control what goes into our subconscious because everything is going in there. It's a vacuum. But we can control how it enters our subconscious mind.
Right.
And I think that's the key, to not allow what we see to affect us. All right, so that's framing things that come into our subconscious mind. Now we have to follow the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule, as everybody knows in business what that means, but you are your most consistent thoughts. So this is my problem with Black people and Trump, because I'm like, you hop online and you're talking about this guy, which means he's a consistent thought.
Right.
He's got free real estate in your mind. Now, if you think this white man is racist and evil, why would you give him free real estate in your mind? Makes no sense. So we have to change what we think about consistently. So we are what we think about. So if we spend 80% of our time coding, we're probably going to talk to people like their computers. We're going to compare everything to Boolean statements or functions, right?
Right.
Or if then statements, depending on what language you're dealing with. If you're dealing with JavaScript, it's if else statements, right? And that's what my mind's doing now because I'm learning coding again. I used to learn C when I was a kid, but now I'm in JavaScript. So our mind is going to become what we consistently think about. So if you head to social media, look at your tweets. Your tweets are a synopsis or consensus of your most common thoughts. So if you look at your tweets or what you're about to tweet, you say, damn, this is what I am. I am these tweets. Now that could be good or bad. For a guy like me, that's good, right? Because I specialize in framing socio-political events for the public. So I have to allow my mind to work on these things consistently, right? I just don't allow them to affect me, which is why I'm able to give such clear thoughts and dissections of these things. So I think that's what we need to start with. Now, there's other things we can do too, right? But I think it really revolves around like what we put in front of our eyes. But let's talk about meditation. Because that's the key to a lot of this. And you don't have to sit down Indian style and meditate. You can meditate walking down the street. It's different forms of meditation, but a great way. So it's a meditation. What meditation is supposed to do? It's supposed to clear your mind of all thoughts, right? So people say, hey, you can't not think. Technically that's kind of true, but technically it's not. When you eat, you can't think. You can do one or the other in intervals, right? So, for example, as a mystic, we're taught never to read while we eat. It affects the digestion. It also affects salivation and how you break down these foods. So if you're reading your Twitter and you're eating at the same time, there's no way you can possibly taste your food. you're reading. Your mind can't do two things at once like that. So you got to choose one or the other. So focus intensely on that taste. And I think a great way to hijack that sense is with a teaspoon of honey. This is in my book. Take a teaspoon of honey and put it in your mouth and tell me if you could think then. You know, the only thing you're going to be thinking about is that taste.
Yeah, right.
Right? Put a teaspoon of vinegar in your mouth or a shot of alcohol. You're not thinking about Donald Trump when you take that shot of Everclear. Right. You're like, whoa, right? This is how you hijack the brain with taste. So I say, before you meditate, take a teaspoon of honey, put it in your mouth, then sit down and meditate. And meditate on that taste and watch how everything in the world just dissipates. Then you go into the void, you go in or outward. And, you know, there's many different types of meditations. I don't want to get into that. But clearing the mind, the conscious mind, allows for purity to enter the subconscious mind. It purifies the mind so some of the filth doesn't so much affect the subconscious mind. Yeah.
And like, you know, as you're thinking through these things, like, do you do like positive affirmations? There's like a goal or something you think in your mind, like, this is my goal, and that's what you're focusing on?
So I'm against affirmations. And I'm against affirmations, not because they don't help, but because they're not the key. Okay? The key is visualization. God or the universe or whatever you believe in, the Most High, whatever your God is, doesn't speak a language, right? So if you speak Arabic and I speak English, is God translating words? No. God is translating your desires based upon what you see in your mind. So instead of saying, hey, you know, I want to be rich, no, envision yourself already rich, right? So there's a meditation you can do, right? So, and the other part is selflessness, but we'll get into that next, remind me. But let's say you want a Lamborghini. You don't type out, I want a Lamborghini. You sit down, you meditate, and you drive it in your mind. You have to feel the wind. You have to see yourself turn on the air conditioning. You might have to go to the Lamborghini dealer and sit in one to allow this to become easier, right? Go sit in the car you want. This is what the universe is going to throw back at you. The visualization is what the ancients taught in meditation. This affirmation thing helps with, like we were talking about those conscious thoughts. Right. It helps with that. Affirmations help with those conscious thoughts, so you're not thinking negative thoughts. But what works better is visualization. I don't sit down and say, hey, I want to be a mogul or, you know, a big top tech guy. I wake up in the morning and feel it, right? So the universe communicates via vibrations. Everything on this earth is vibrating. Can't see it, but it is. When we talk, we are talking, and the voice box is vibrating, right? So everything communicates in vibrations. Everything has a frequency. So watch this. Now, once you have sat in that Lamborghini, if you don't feel them goosebumps raise, if you don't get the jitters, that's called emotion. So God or the universe or the Most High or whatever you believe in is picking up that emotional vibration. So you can say, hey, you can say all the affirmations I want, but if you don't feel that emotionally and you don't feel emotionally charged, it never communicates with the universe. Now I'm going to say this one last piece before we get into selflessness. Once you have your visualization of what you want to manifest, and it should probably take less than 6 months to manifest what you want, depending on how big, of course. But once you get that visualization in your mind, here's the hard part: dismissing it. You have to dismiss it from your mind. And that's the delivery to the cosmic. That's how you deliver your message to God. Your desire to God is dismissing it from your mind. Because when you hold it here, God's like, yo, when you want me to work on this, let me know, send it up and I'll take care of it. But when it's here, you're still worrying. You're saying, I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't have this. You're worrying about it. because you haven't released it yet. When you release it, that means you're trusting in God, or you're trusting in Allah, or you're trusting in the Most High. When you hold it here, you're not trusting in your higher power. If you trust in your higher power, you release it. I said, oh, it's good. God's going to work on it. It'll be soon. It's here. You're holding on to it. You're harboring it. So that's the hardest part that people don't know about manifesting is letting it go.
You would call that like faith? Like that's faith in that?
Yeah. You can call it faith. Yeah, you can call it faith. I like that. Yeah. The other part is, and this is hard for people too, with selflessness. I don't want a Lamborghini for me. I want a Lamborghini to show kids they can accomplish anything they want in life. You see how I took my desire and made it selfless? For me, it's to buy my dad a boat. He's always wanted a big yacht. That's my manifestation. So I have to sit down and I've got to ride that boat. We test out a boat. We sit on the boat. We've done it. The boat's going to come, but it's not for me. It's for my dad. And a lot of times our desires don't come because they're selfish. Would God give something to somebody that's selfish? He wouldn't. And that's the other part of manifestation.
The affirmations, I had trouble with that too, because the problem with the affirmations, I think to your point and why, I've been struggling with that is I can't explain the emotions in words. And because I can't explain it in words, like I feel it's very finite.
Yes. So words cannot express everything that exists. Yes.
Right. And that's, I think like what you said there, like, I think is the gap for me in terms of like how to get to where I want, because I'm like, there's so much more here and I can't explain it. And it's just like, but I could tell you how I feel. I can tell you what I want, like how the house looks, how people see me, what I'm doing for the community. Like for me, money is an enabler for me to make impact. That's ultimately what I want to do. Like, and the thing is like, you just need a certain amount of money sometimes to like do that. Now, I don't have a lot now. I'm doing well for myself. Things are growing. That's great. And I have big goals for myself. But like, that's what I'm trying to do is ultimately get to impact. Like however much money I have, I don't care. I'm a very simple person. I don't need too much of that stuff. I love nice things. I love food. I love going out to restaurants. I like experiences. I like hanging out with people. Like same thing as like, I want to do like some stand up on the side too. I like hanging out with people that have great minds, like comedians, people like yourself, just minds, like give me opportunities to sit and do things with these people, to talk with them, but also have the capital and the resources to now, like, I'm sick of just listening to people. Just shut up, dude. When are you going to start doing something? Like, I'm just tired of it. I just like doers and executors.
You see what the hoodie says?
Shut up and code. Yeah. Build, man. Do something. Right?
That's it. Even if this is a simulation, code is a euphemism for do. What you brought up made me remember is Elon Musk on Joe Rogan when he talks about Neuralink, right? And he talks about how people are limited in communication by words. But if we could link the two minds together, one can understand the other without words. And that's the relationship with God and the emotions, right? Is you can talk to God, but them emotions are going to communicate way better than these stupid words that man tries to use.
Right.